That's recording started.
Okay, thank you. Right, okay. After much discussion there, Mr. McMahon, what is really showing up that there is real concern at areas suitable for alcohol, and I think it would be good if we can agree a modification with this licence. The modification would bring in the building and the 2 square red areas. Now, I'm quite sure Douglas will explain this better, but I'm giving you the opportunity of telling you that we do have concern regarding that, and we would really like to have an agreement that there would be a modification plan that would show how you were going to deal with the concerns that have been highlighted. What's your feelings on that, Mr. McMahon?
No, more than happy, Your Honour. Just to clarify, what we're saying is we would have the 2 external areas ongoing, and anything else we wanted over and above that would be on an event-by-event basis, subject to consultation with the police and the LSO.
Okay,
Yeah. Can I just
Yeah.
So basically, the board are asking you if you'll agree a modification to your application, which means rather than having the whole football pitch, you're basically asking for the building and the 2 square areas that are adjacent to each other on your occasional licence plan that you attached in red. So you're agreeing that modification.
Absolutely, yes.
And that means, obviously, what we would need from you, Mr. McMahon, I think, is now you've agreed to that modification, is to allow us to issue a licence that's not a mess. Can you get us, I don't know how long it'll take to produce that. Can you produce an actual licence showing the building and the 2 red areas so that we can issue that with your premises licence?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, obviously we'll be going the occasionals until we've got this confirmed via building control, etc. But in the meantime, I can get the architect to just tidy it up. Obviously, the drawings were there for the occasionals, so we can get that tidied up and sent over to you.
Thanks, Mr. McMahon. Can I just clarify to members then that would mean that if Ms McMahon wants additional areas, or if a third party, for example, wants to come in and have a stall that sells alcohol at an event, and some additional area, then obviously they can come in, as you've indicated, Mr. McMahon, with a normal occasional licence, consultation with the police, consultation with the LSO, advert on the web in the normal way, and it would be dealt with on its own merits for any individual event. And I think that would address the board's kind of concerns. On that basis, convener, now that that's been agreed, the legislation does then require that, now that Ms McMahon's agreed the modification, the board is required to grant the application in its modified terms.
Okay, Douglas, thank you for that. And under those conditions, yes, I would put forward a motion that we do agree the application with the modifications that we've discussed.
Yeah,
Is
agreed.
that agreed?
Yeah, agreed.
Yep. Okay, that's
Thank you,
agreed
Your
with, with the
Thanks.
modification. Thank
Thanks,
you.
convener. Just to confirm as well, obviously that the earlier on the conditions were agreed in relation to the delivery conditions. So obviously, as per the earlier discussion as well.
Sorry, Mr. Campbell, just also to say, Mr. Dixon put in conditions, suggested conditions, and building control had conditions. They were all agreed.
Yes, so that'll be on the licence as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honours.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, Kevin?
Yeah, convener, can I just come in at this point? I'm working this afternoon, so I'll need to leave the meeting at this point, if that's okay.
That's no problem. Thanks,
Right.
Kevin.
Thanks, everyone.
Douglas, just remind me again, what's the number for a quorum?
Yeah, this side of the end of September, it's 4. It'll be back to 5 come the end of the month. But here's just it.
Okay.
I think we've actually still got 8 members present, Councillor McEwen, so there's no difficulty.
Okay, then I'm going. I think this is the last one, and then after that it's delegated.
No, I think we've actually got 2 items left, Councillor McEwen. We've got this, and then we've got an occasional licence as well. But there's no third parties involved.
Yeah, you're right.
So the personal licence, sorry, personal licence.
Okay, so the next one then is Barga, which is Unit 30, Paisley Shopping Centre in Paisley. So who do we have for this, Douglas?
Sorry, Councillor McEwen, just got my paperwork for this one.
Miss Birrell?
Yeah. Yes, sorry, Councillor McEwen, it's Jackie Burrell from Brodie's.
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Hi, and I think you're accompanied, Ms Burrell, with
Yes,
someone.
Mr. David Davidson, who's the operator of Barga, is also on the call.
Yeah, I'm present.
Thank you. Can I just confirm in relation to this item? I don't know if you were here during all the previous item, but in the same way, we defined a locality for that item. It was a provisional. This is a new grant. One thing that I think has been flagged with you by email after the rest of the papers were sent to you in writing the meeting, Ms Burrell, is that the premises is actually within, as you're aware, the board's designated over provision area. So
Yep.
are we proposing that we don't go through, identifying a locality between 200, 400 and 800, but look at the area that the board has already designated in its policy? And I think you already have by email the figures, and they were sent to members as well. If members can make sure they have those available. Aileen, can I just check?
And we've no response from the licensed standard officer, none.
Yeah.
So it's really only Miss Birrell and Mr. Davidson that are going to speak to this.
Yeah, I think I'm anticipating, convener, that Mr. Davids, sorry, Ms. Burrell will present the matter, but may bring
Okay.
Mr. Davidson in
Yep.
at times. So, are there any preliminary issues to be raised, Ms. Burrell? Obviously, I've raised the matter that we won't go through the 204 metres, but we'll look at the figures, and I'll just confirm to you then that in terms of that. Excuse me a second. In terms of the over provision plan, we have 19 on sales premises and 3 off sales premises. I'm presuming that your submission would be that we look at the on sales premises, given
Yeah.
that this is a pub, and that effectively means there's 19 premises with a combined capacity of 5,058, and that's the figures that we'd have regard to for the purposes of assessing over provision.
Yeah.
Okay. On that basis, convener, I think that takes care of the preliminary matters, because Ms. Burrell's confirmed that she has no preliminary issues otherwise to raise.
Okay, thank you, Douglas. So Miss Birrell, do you want to go ahead, please, and
Sure,
speak to the
thank you.
application?
Of course. Yeah. So this application is for a premises licence. Just to give a bit of background here, a provisional premises licence was granted for these premises on the 6th of September 2017 to the owners at that time of Paisley Shopping Centre. Our clients took over ownership of the centre in November 2020. The provisional premise licence was never confirmed, and the previous owners wouldn't cooperate with regard to a transfer of the provisional premises licence, and so that was revoked in September last year. We were then instructed by our clients to submit a premises licence application, and that's what we did in February this year, and that's why we're here at the moment. Mr. Davidson took over the operation of Barga in 2019. He spent a year refurbishing the premises, opening under occasional licences in February 2020. Lockdown then happened and Barga closed, reopening again last year when restrictions were lifted, again under occasional licences. So this application seeks 4 on sale hours of 11 to midnight Sunday to Thursday and 11 to 1 AM Friday and Saturday, with off sales Monday to Sunday 11 till 10 PM. Activities applied for include restaurant, bar, meals, receptions, club, other group meetings, recorded music, televised sport, both within and out with core hours, live performances and dance facilities, and films within core hours. Additional activities we've included food, drinking, tasting events, charity nights, normal kind of activities that you would expect in a premises of this kind. There's a takeaway facility which has also been provided, and this is provided via Just Eat. And I would just say that there's no alcohol offered with the takeaway food, so there's no alcohol sold via delivery. Children and young persons are permitted on the premises when accompanied by an adult until 10 p.m. Capacity of the premises 130 persons, which is below the maximum that was calculated by building standards. And I just want to say the focus at Barga is the food. They've got a wood-fired oven and they market themselves as a restaurant with bar facilities. So an all-seated venue with very little space for people to stand. Now, as I say, Barga, they've been operating for a period of time under occasional licences with no issues or incidents. Mr. David Davison is a experienced operator with a lot of years of experience running this venue and also various other venues, which I hope would give the board members comfort that this is a well-run establishment and will continue to be so. With regard to the over-provision, the policy statement states that the locality of Paisley Town Centre is over-provided in respect of liquor or pub-type premises used exclusively or predominantly for the sale of alcohol, and as such does not include restaurant, hotel or nightclub premises. Barga, as I've said, is not a premises used exclusively for the sale of alcohol. Food is their main focus here, and food is offered throughout the day up to 9 or 10 o'clock at night. There have been no adverse comments or objections received. The applications within board policy, and I would commend the application to the board, subject to any questions that anyone might have for myself or Mr. Davidson.
Ms. Birrell, could you just answer, please? See the delivery conditions covered by the policy, you accepting all that as well?
Yeah, although I would say that there's no alcohol.
Okay.
Alcohol doesn't form part of those deliveries.
Right, okay. Mr. Davidson, do you want to say anything?
No, I think Ms. Burrell's covered most of it. I mean, the only comment I would have in relation to the over provision, that there are sizable premises within the 200 metre that are being closed for multiple years. Our property next door, with a capacity I think of 450 or so, has been closed for 4 years. The property across from us at 42 New Street has been closed for over 3 years. I'm not sure if these licenses are still live, but they're certainly on the sheet that we were presented with. As Ms. Burrow said, as we do focus, I mean, we've got a pizza oven at a cost of about £25,000. So our focus is definitely on food. Of course, people are welcome to come in for a drink, but we are seated absolutely to our capacity. So there are over 130 seats on the property, and our capacity is 130. So there's very little room for vertical drinking, other than people going to the bar, getting a drink and taking it back to the table. So other than that, I don't have anything else to add, unless there are any questions that I'm more than happy to answer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Davidson. Is there any questions from members? I don't see any hands going up. Now, there is absolutely no adverse comments with this application. So I would put forward a motion that we grant the application. Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
Now that's good. Thank you. That's agreed. Okay. Okay, Douglas. Okay, just if you want to say anything else, that's agreed.
Yeah, yes, thanks. That's agreed, and obviously you've also agreed to the conditions in Miss Burrell in relation to deliveries too. Although I appreciate that you're not likely to be in the short term delivering alcohol, but in case that changes, they're there anyway.
Okay, that's great. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Right. Okay, so that was ready, and I think this is going to be the last one before ones that are delegated for noting. And this is a personal licence, and it's for a Calwin, and I hope I'm saying that right, Singh. A letter from police re-traffic. Are the police going to be present here, Douglas? Douglas, you're on mic.
Apologies,
Yeah.
sorry, Councillor McCune. The police have confirmed that yes, they will be here. Mr. Singh's confirmed that he's happy to have the application considered in his absence.
And was it Sergeant McGrath?
Yes, Sergeant Moore McGrath, yes.
Okay. So really that's the...
Yeah, I think we're still waiting for Sergeant Moore McGrath to join the meeting though, Councillor McCune.
Okay, so that'll really be the only person that's going to be speaking to the objection. Is it an objection or is it a representation?
It's not.
You're away again, Douglas. I can't hear you. You're on mute. I can't hear you. Still can't hear you, Douglas.
I'll mute.
Right.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. I don't know why that happens. I mean, I was on mute. But,
I know it's happened the other day. In the
yeah, it did. And then when I muted and unmuted, it worked. I'll put my headphones back and hopefully you can hear me a bit clearer. You hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you okay.
Thanks, Councillor. It's not really a representation or an objection, convener. What I would say about these types of cases is the police do have the power when they put these reports, their standard reports the police need to give, saying that if there's any relevant convictions, and that's dealt with in the legislation. What a relevant conviction is, it's basically a list of things. The Chief Constable does have the power to make a recommendation for refusal in these cases. They haven't done that in this particular case, and they haven't put in any information about the offence. There is case law around this stuff as well, Councillor McCune, that if the board does have any concerns, perhaps that can be discussed in terms of a recess. But it's a standard police report, and the offence involves an endorsement by a court, which is the reason why it's not a spent conviction.
Okay then, so you can let me know when Sergeant McGrath is present.
Yeah, we're still trying to connect them, Councillor McCune.
Yep. Is everybody okay? Because that's quite a wee while we've been sitting here. Hopefully we won't be much longer, but is anybody needing, what is it? What's the word they use for
A comfort break.
Comfort break.
I don't. I'd rather just get finished.
The other option you
Right.
Sorry, the other option that I know I double clicked. Oh, that we're sorted. Good.
Right. Okay. Hello, Sergeant McGrath. We're now on to the personal licence for Mr. Singh, and I noticed that you've put a letter in letting us know about a road traffic offence that happened in 2017. Can I ask you to speak to that, please, Sergeant McGrath, and why you've got it there?
Yes, no problem at all. Thanks, Your Honours. I refer to the above application in terms of section 73(3)(b) of the Licence Scotland Act 2005. I have to advise you that, based upon information provided to Police Scotland, the applicant has been convicted of the following relevant offence. On the 17th of the 10th, 2017 at Paisley Sheriff Court. The crime offence being the Road Traffic Act 1988, section 5(1), with the disposal being a £500 fine, 18 months on the licence being endorsed, and I'm unable to confirm the existence of any foreign offence in respect of the applicant. Thank you.
Okay, and I totally understand why you do have to bring this to our attention. Has there been any other offences since then?
No, there's been nothing further.
Okay, any questions from members? No. Do you want to sum up, Sergeant McGrath, just before I make a decision or decide whether to go into a recess or not.
Yes, no problem, Your Honours. There's nothing further than the relevant conviction. There's nothing further from Police Scotland.
Okay, well, I can assure you we are going to go in for a very quick recess, and then we'll come back out again and I'll be able to let you know what the decision is. Okay, so if I can ask you to leave just now in any public, and we'll get you back in as soon as we can.